Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of many ages. My name is Mr. Evil Dragon, and welcome to the infamous Monza loading screen. It's beautiful, it's got lots of things here at the Autodromo Nacional de Monza, but as per usual with me, I have a new commentator alongside me for what is another week of racing. This is free now, and say hello to our fellow commentator Mike.
Hello, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to a good race today. And just off the bat, I can see a bit of rain for the one-shot quali, which is interesting.
Spicy. Yes, it's
Yes,
good.
very spicy.
Very spicy. A bit of rain in the sky. All these people up there, they've not brought the right clothes. They're all getting soggy. Should bring their raincoats. But of course, we've got many drivers. One shot qualifying. The championship leader is Callum on 37 points from Kinley and McCoy in second and third. So what we are going to do is we're going to find Callum, who is somewhere on this grid, somewhere. Bonnie and Larkin have retired, but let's see, there we are, on board of Callum. They're down towards turn number one. A few people are retiring or having issues, so something's happened. I got 4 out already. Now, I think we've got a bit of an issue here, lad.
A slight issue.
A slight issue has occurred because everyone is leaving and retiring, so I think that normally means we're getting a restart already. So let's have a look at the chat and see what's gone wrong here. We love technical difficulties. And let's see. And what seems to have happened, we're getting a new lobby because someone pressed the radio button too quickly. And it's apparently Bonnie who's done the buggering, so oh dear. But we get to see Callum. He's just carrying on his merry way. He wants to just, the stream time, quite important, isn't it?
It is. And with the lobby restart as well, the weather could be different now, as it's dynamic. Could be anything. So strategies are all up in the air. Setup,
Yep.
special part Ferme's on. Oh,
that's a wall.
oh.
That just
Parked him up.
Yeah, well, whilst we are waiting for a new invite, we get to see all the cameras. This guy is staring deadly into the screen at us. It's quite interesting. I've never actually seen what happens when the AI all completely taken over. One of them is in a wall, which is always not ideal. One of them's having a slow drive and it's pulling off us. We're just waiting for a invitation in a few moments because someone did a little bit of a boo-boo and readied up when they're not meant to. Just reading the chat, and it's always fun when we see the chat there. So whilst we're just waiting, we might as well do the sponsors.
Yeah, get them out of the way now. So, Next Level Racing sponsors our league of prizes each season. They supply race sims, rigs, seats, pedal holders, steering wheel holders. We've got Delta.app, they're our title sponsor of the league. You can make all your investments in one app, make smart decisions like the world's top investors, and track your journey to success with Delta. Do have to say that is strictly 18 plus. Sim racing setups, they provide all your pro setups for F125. I've used them for a couple of seasons now in F1. All your dry setups, wet setups, even professional setups now by Istvan Puke. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. You can also get a discount with them using the code OneHubRacing to get 5% off. Pure Sim Gear, they sponsor our league. They give us, you can supply with racing socks, gloves to the driver with most fastest laps and poles over the course of our season. Another discount code, you can use the code OHR10P to get 10% off their sim racing socks and gloves. You've got Vespertine Gaming, our lovely Salou, who supports our official apparel, so again gloves, t-shirts, hats, many other things. And last but not least, SimGrid. Our whole league's powered by SimGrid. If we didn't have those, there'd be a lot of Google Sheets dotting around. So big thanks to all of our sponsors. And I think that is the lot. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you did that quite well there, my lad.
Thank you.
I shall send you an invite whilst we're doing that, so because it's easy to get you in that way. And then we get to go again for the second time, and this time hopefully the last time after someone pressed the wrong button. Which always can happen.
Does I am not seeing any Twitch chat messages, so if there are any in there, it is not updating for me.
No, there's none right now, but it normally will pick up in due course when all the stream things go live. And of course, hello to all 11 people that are currently watching. You never know, maybe Colin's in there. We love Colin when he appears in the chat. I still remember a great day many seasons ago commentating with him over his pa, and then I cursed him into a wall, and that was a very fun, awkward moment. I think you should press the spectate button as well, Mike. There we
That would
go.
be very helpful, wouldn't it?
It would. So I think we've got all 14 drivers currently in. So just a few to wait and see, because Monza hosted pretty much every F1 races apart from I think one or two. I think one in the 1980s. I think it was 1980, but it's pretty much hosted the Italian Grand Prix exclusively. Apart from that, of course, we have had other Italian circuits, Imola, as well as Mugello in recent years, and the wacky year of 2020, a circuit I wish we had on more games, but it would end up us recreating 2020 Mugello, so best not to, I guess. But let's see, we're getting ready to ready up again, and what we got to see is no one pressing the ready up button too early. Otherwise, someone's going to be put in a dark room and beat with a stick. And it will probably be by Larkin, by the sounds of it.
It'll be me, just out of Nick's fury for me.
Yes, yes. We have heard that Mikey does get very angry, apparently. So hopefully that anger is reserved for the races. Hopefully, we'll find out.
Collected. Season 28 is a calm and collected season for me. Different Mikey you're going to see.
So, here we go for the second time. Multiplayer event here in Monza. So we got all the lovely thing, curbs, grass, sky. It's a lovely circuit. What do you think of Monza?
This is probably one of my favourite tracks on the entire calendar. There's not many corners to go wrong. Ascari being I'd say the hardest on this whole track. It's risk versus reward, I think. The faster you go through there, the more chance you've got of flying off. But looking at it, it looks like a dry track as well. So, dry setups. Obviously, we don't know what the race is going to be weather-wise. I don't think anyone does. But these setups do carry over into the race, so strategy's begun now, really. And I'm interested to see who comes out on top.
And it seems someone has pressed the ready up button. Now, is it too early? And it's allow. He's pressed it early this time. And I think that means we're going to get another restart. Potentially, unless everyone got themselves in there. Let's find out if someone's going to get told off or not. But I think we might be, this time, underway in qualifying. So hopefully everyone got the setups on. Otherwise, Salau's going to be taken to a dark corner. Nick's in the chat typing.
Here we go.
So the angry messages may occur. We love all our chats and stuff. These issues can happen, but we're on board with Cardi. He's come through the first chicane down into the Della Roggia. Chuck it in there, over the left, over the right. And then into the double right-handers. Nice and smooth through there. I forgot what they've called that. Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. There we go. It came to me. Not commentating on Monza in about 3 years, so I've forgotten all the corner names somehow. Under the banking, of course, which hasn't been used since, well, a long time ago. Back when Colin was a wee lad. Into Ascari. Nice and smooth through here, up on the exit. And Callum going to be trying to go for P1 on the grid. He has had pole a lot recently in the Sauber. He has been very, very quick through the Parabolica, what is now Michele Alboreto, and across the line, and it's Rees on pole, Callum in second, Kinley in third. Morgan has been disqualified, so a little bit of an oopsie potentially down there.
He won't be happy with that. I've done a lot of practice with Morgan, and I don't know if I weren't on board, but I assume he's got a corner there. I see the chat are referring to me there. Thank you for that, Larkin.
So, your grid then. Rees, Callum, Kinley, Axellock, Bonnie, Cragg. We've got McCoy, Lawrence, Jonas, Rich, Larkin, Rob, Madge Salau, who's been a naughty boy, and Mr. Morgan at the back of the grid. Like I said, with that disqualification for something. Not sure what happened. So hopefully, like I said, everyone got their setups on, etc. So I don't believe we're going to be getting a new restart.
No, they said they had enough time, so they're going straight forward with it. But it is a sunny day at Monza, which blue skies. What do you think? Who's going to be your top three for this? Do you think?
Well, yeah, you can't put it past, of course, championship leader of Callum. He's been doing well, of course. P3 in round 1. It was P1 in round 2. He didn't have the greatest race in round 3. Unless I'm reading that wrong, of 10th position, of course. It's been quite vice versa, of course. Kinley's done quite well in the last 2 races. It's minimum of 2 stops, right? Yes, it is, Cragg. It's as far as I remember, it's always 2 stops, but the tyres go off anyway, so always do a 2-stop strategy nonetheless, because otherwise you die. Painful spinning death, because I witnessed by playing this game. Tyre wear is evil.
Tyre wear is a huge issue. I'm just trying to find out what the optimal strategy is for this race, which is...
I think it's pitting around about lap 8 to 12 from mediums, go potentially on another set of medium, and then go for the hards to the end, or of course some might go hard, medium, medium. I normally like going on the hard compound tyres. Personally, I just find them a lot more grippy and enjoyable for some weird reason. Tend to always go faster on the hards. Now, I don't know if that's just a me thing, or that's just how it works, but as you are a fellow racer, you might know a little more insight onto how the tyres work.
The hards typically are more difficult to get through the corners, especially here when you've got so few. Oh, here we go.
There we go. 5 red lights.
4, 5.
And we're underway in just a few seconds. Lights out and away we go then. And Rees gets himself off the line very quickly. And I do wish sometimes this game gave us a little countdown when we do this. But of course, Rees down towards turn number 1. What about Callum on the outside? Can't quite do it. Red Bull trying to pull out to the outside as well. Skipping the first chicane. Do they all rejoin correctly? Nope, there's contact. And 1-2 cars involved there. It was the Aston Martin involved. We've got an Alpine in the background going through the bollards as well, but I believe everyone is away scot-free without any major damage. But Rees then through into the second chicane, leading from Callum. His fellow teammate in third, Bonnie down there having a bit of a battle with Rob, further down between the Red Bull and the Mercedes. And damage on the front right of Rob's Mercedes, so of course he has taken a bit of contact, and I think he was the one potentially involved in the Red Bull's mistake, and the Red Bull is gone round in the middle of the pack, and somehow the ghosting system has saved him there, but there is problems for Bonnie, and that is not how he wanted to get that first lap out of the way, but he's still in the race.
There's been damage up and down the field. I can see Lawrence is missing part of his wing. Bonnie's lost 10 places. Jonas lost 5 off the start there. I think Lawrence might take an early pit stop with the damage he's got. He's missing that front left. He's going to struggle through the corners here.
On the, of course, hard compound tyres, so he probably wants to stay out quite as long as he can on those tyres. He will have a bit of a quicker car in a straight line, in theory, as we go down the straight. And we got the Williams up the inside of the Red Bull. Gets it stopped down in towards turn number 1. A bit of contact, I think, behind the Aston Martin. May just nudging there. And, well, there's a bit more nudging because there is the Mercedes losing the rear end there. And Lawrence dropping down another position there, down into 12th. My fellow commentator, I will say, as well. It's always good to see our fellow commentators racing around up the inside into the chicane. Is that going to work? No, it's not going to work because round goes the Aston Martin then. So 2 into 1, not going to work quite there, and it's Morgan who's sent spinning around then on lap number 2. Up front, Reese now got that gap to 1.4 seconds from Kennard. Kimley in third, just holding on right now and is just trying to bide his time. And of course, then we got Axellock in the other Racing Bulls, and then a bit of a gaggle behind, and then the field slowly already starting a spread due to a little bit of bunching and a bit of contact earlier on in the lap.
This is going to be a DRS battle right now. I've got Craggy. He's going on Craig around Parabolica. Can he get it on the inside? I think Moki's just got him with the battery. Salu's safe for another day here, I think. Unless Moki can get him up his left. No, he's backing out of it. He's playing it smart. There's some very experienced drivers here. Salu knew exactly where to put his car in that situation, and he's just managing his battery now, I think, just to get through this stint.
Yeah, Salau, of course, he's very experienced of the battery saving expertise as we come down to the chicane. Like I said, top 3 all together, right? Well, can't really say all together. It is the 2 kick Saubers that are most close together. Reese, of course, starting to open that gap now up to 2.1 seconds. So, of course, in a better car with a bit of a wobble on the exit, will in theory pull away ever so slightly. So that's always the thing in realistic. You're luck of the draw to see what car you're going to get. Of course, the Sauber, probably the worst car on the grid. But those two very, very quick, as in fact Kinley has got past his teammate.
He has. I wasn't sure if there was any team orders involved there. Callum took a look up the left-hand side going into the Scara. We'll see now if he fancies it. He's got more battery. He's got 70% Callum compared to Kinney's 30. They do look like they're racing though. There's no team orders at Sauber for this race.
Yeah, no team orders right now. What I imagine they could be doing here, and it's not too bad of a strategy as long as they manage to get through turn 1 all correctly, which they do, a little bit of squabbling there. They could work together and pull themselves up towards Reese, but of course that's not happening right now because that gap opening up more and more. Further down the field, like I said, we've got a big old battle here between Larkin, Rich, Madge, and then of course all the way down as Axellock has got past Kinley then, down into the chicane. So whether they were working together, they're definitely not going to be working now because they've got a car in between them, the Racing Bulls of Axellock. So it is Racing Bulls, Sauber, Racing Bulls, and then the Sauber again. And then, of course, it's Salau in the Alpine. Might be in trouble for redding up a little bit early. We shall see. Another fellow commentator, I will say, as well. So in terms of the commentator squads, Salau doing a little bit better right now. Axellock's got the bit between his teeth, I will say, though. He was about a second behind these two, and now he's in the DRS. In terms of ERS usage, all pretty similar between the top 4. You're going to wonder, is there any opportunity for Axellock down the straight here with the ERS, with the DRS? The answer to that is probably going to be yes here, because you can see Kennard already right with him. So up the inside he goes. Does he get the car stopped down in towards turn number 1? Yes, he does. Behind him, the Haas there, making a move as well as we cut there. Let's see, the Alpine holding his line as the Haas tries to swoop right around the outside, but nothing he can do right there. So Sauber's now third and fourth, Racing Bulls 1 and 2. With a little bit of a lock-up there for Axel. But Axel, very experienced and very quick driver in his own right as well. So, to be fair, all these drivers extremely quick in different periods of their careers in games.
They are. Callum's really struggling in that dirty air. He's had 2 snaps since Axelot's got in front. I don't think, being in the Sauber as well, I don't think he's happy racing this close through corners. On the straight, he might manage it. He seems to be saving battery for that attack, which I imagine he's going to start deploying it now in anticipation for that DRS.
Yeah, Jonas, 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limit. That was, of course, into Ascari. Whilst we now look back up to your top group, and well, there's a good chance here for Axelot to lose that position again, because here comes Callum with the rest down the straight, pulls to the right hand side of the circuit. Job done down there. I don't think there's going to be any moves right there as well. As up the inside again, McCoy gets finally the job done. I think a little bit of contact there with the Alpine. Definitely a bit of debris came off as the Alpine now swoops back now into 6th position. With the ERS, there's only opportunity down in to the Delia Roger. Not quite so yet. Further behind though, we have more battles going on. Bit of a lock up there as the Alpine squiggles its way through, but I think he's just about got that one done.
He has. Rich does have front wing damage, as noticed as well, on the left hand side, which is another person managing that. I think the Alpine, yeah, the Alpine has no damage on it.
No, the Alpine has. Has he? No? Yes? No.
Yes.
No. Yeah, it looked like it did for a second. It's just, it blends in, you see. It's the camouflage on the front wing. Sometimes, because they're very thin.
It's really hard with the tyres. But yeah, Rich has got a slight bit of damage. I think that's why he wasn't able to fight that one.
Madge as well with the damage. So, those 2 damage, but of course they are on... I think one of them was on hard compound tyres. It is, I think... It's Jonas and Larkin and Lawrence on the hard. So they're going for a longer strategy. As up the inside goes the Racing Bulls, still battling away. As you've got one, a few cars in the pit lane further down the field. And it is Rob taking the first stop of this afternoon then. So let's see, what tyres is he going on? I think it's a set of hards. So going to go for around about lap 17, 18. And then, of course, go back on the mediums. Salau battling away with Craig. A bit of contact on the exit of the second chicane. And that's going to be put back to status quo for the time being. But so far, all the drivers relatively nice and calm. But it is Reese right now, who is really now starting to stretch his gap. 4.6 seconds.
He is stretching his gap. I think Morgan might have damage at the back. He dropped it in the first corner. Went straight through all the bollards on the left. And Salu's just picked up a time penalty for track limits, which is huge for him. That'll drop him to P8 as it stands.
Yellow flags, and I think that's Jonas in the wall. And I've got another car off there, and it's the Racing Bulls. Sorry, it's the Red Bull in the wall as well. Not helped there by, I think that was Lawrence who hit him, and has got a 10-second time penalty for causing a collision there. And that feels quite harsh, but the safety car is out. And to Riley in the chat, it's Mike who's joining us in his first commentary in the chat. So I do say I feel quite sorry for Lawrence here, because that is the most cruelest 10 seconds I've seen. Morgan gets a 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, and we have a battle here. Aston Martin and Red Bull side by side down there. As the Red Bull's going to come in, and pretty much everyone has got in, apart quite critically here. And you will notice this: first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and well, first position, shall I say, is that... Oh, okay, he's ahead of the safety car. Never mind, I'll be quiet. I thought for a second he was behind. Jonas, like I said, in the wall. We don't quite know what's happened. I'm going to guess he's got a little bit on the exit, and the car's gone, I'm not doing this, and has decided to then promptly become the barrier, which, not ideal, I will say, but things happen sometimes. Safety car out on lap 8 of 27. Someone saying, what game is this? F1? Yes, these are F1 cars. It is the old F1 2025, and we have got cars on circuit. Safety car, like I said, is out right now after an accident involving Jonas, and also an incident involving, I believe it was Bonnie, and as well with it was Lawrence, who I believe has actually served his 10-second time penalty. So he's got that out of the way. So nicely done by the Mercedes crew to promptly get that one removed.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate for Lawrence. He had nowhere to go for that, and as it is with the pit stops, he had to take that, or he could have changed his tyres. I don't know what happened with Jonas. I didn't see that. There's been a few penalties up and down the grid.
Yeah. So I'm wondering here, presumably Morgan now will come in the pit lane, serve that 10-second time penalty, which you can do under safety car, and then go back on his merry way. And he comes then, we'll serve that under the safety car, which gets it out of the way. We'll go probably back on another set of mediums, and then go on a set of hards around about lap 17.
Yeah, I think that's the strategy now to get to the end. I imagine not a lot of drivers have gone harder, so they'd have 2 mediums and a set of hard to use. They could stretch it and use a soft if there's another incident, but I think with the tyre wear here...
It's lap 23, I think, is the delta for the soft compound tyres. It's about 6 or 7 laps. They normally can last before hitting the proverbial cliff. So it is Reese up front, alongside Axelov in second. And then, of course, Callum McCoy now up into 4th because, of course, these two Saubers had 2 stacks. So Kinley now down into 5th. Cragg and Sipsalau up into 7th. Larkin in 8th. Rob, Rich, Madge, and then, of course, like we said, Lawrence, Bonnie, and Morgan down the back of the grid. Biggest gainer so far in this race, if I can figure out which one it is. It's one of these. And there we go, positions change. It's allowed up 7 positions so far in this race. So having a decent first couple of laps, and I guess he's just keeping himself out of trouble right now. Of course, might be in a little bit of trouble for starting too early, but I think he may just get away with it.
Did. He kept his nose clean in the starting phase. I think now it'll start to settle down. The biggest losers on the back of that are Boney, lost out with that slide, and also he was one of the few teams they double stacked at Red Bull, so he lost even more time through the pits.
Yeah, most certainly. But of course, everything now will go back to the status quo. Safety cars should be in. I think this lap maybe, if not it will definitely be next lap we'll get that safety car in. The Mercedes CrowdStrike AMG safety car. We'll say it's a very pretty safety car. Kind of mix, which I prefer, that or the Aston Martin. What's your opinion on them?
As much as I like Mercedes, I think the Aston Martin is beautiful for a safety car. It just looks, with a spoiler on the back, it just looks amazing. Oh, I could watch it all day.
Well, you won't be watching it this season, unfortunately, because it's gone. But unfortunately, so safety car in next lap. Lawrence has got himself a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits under the safety car, which I will say is quite an achievement, Lawrence. Not quite sure the FIA will be most pleased pushing over track limits under safety car, but we're not the FIA, so we'll be fine. Hopefully.
Not today. I think he was pushing, trying to catch the grid a little bit there, and it's a silly mistake to make it.
In the pits, we have Rich in the pit lane. Now, what has happened here? Is this damage? Or is this just a alternative strategy going for the hard compound tyres to the end of the race with 17 laps? 16, 17 laps on the hard. It's doable. Yeah, it'll be difficult, but I suppose that does give him a nice delta for the soft compound tyres, and I believe he is the first to do a two-stop strategy. Of course, Morgan's done one as well, but he had to serve that penalty. Though is on the hard compound tyre as well, so
Can
he get to the end?
It could be a stroke of genius, or it could be an extra pit stop that they didn't have to take. Only time will tell in that case. 16 laps remaining, not including this one. Both of them, Morgan's tyres are 2 laps old, so he would have had, maths isn't mathing, 18 lap old tyres by the end of this race, which that's an ask of anyone. So yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make that work.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Safety car in this lap, and of course Reese now becomes the de facto safety car driver. The Racing Bulls ahead, of course, his fellow teammate as well, both running the same livery today, which is always nice when they're all running the same livery, all weaving down the straight, warming their tyres up nice and gently. Now, when is Reese going to go? I reckon it'll be kind of about midway or just before the last corner, so let's see. Round about now, I reckon he's going to probably bolt it. And not yet, so he's holding them. Now he's going to go right through the end. There we go, so right through the middle of the last corner. And away he goes then to lead the Italian Grand Prix as we on to lap number 12 then. Meaning we have got, like I said, about 13, 14 laps to go in this race. Down towards turn number 1. Is everyone going to get themselves clean through there? We've got the Haas up the inside. And a bit of contact there around the outside over the curbs. And we'll get them soon all through correctly there. A bit of debris kicking off from someone. I'm not sure who that was, but someone definitely lost some bit of car. But McCoy then up into third. Callum in fourth. We've got the Aston Martin then in fifth. Ahead of Kinley in sixth. Yellow flags flying, but I think that, of course, is just a glitch. So we shall all be fine right now as we come down to the Lesmos then for the first time after the safety car. And it seems everyone relatively keeping themselves in good spirit. No one making a mistake, but it is Reese who's already starting to push away immediately. To be fair, both of the Racing Bulls pushing away a little bit quicker.
They are. I'm surprised Reese hasn't released Axlock on those mediums, just to let him try and get a bit of a deficit. Otherwise, they're going to be pitting on top of each other towards the end. Not saying that, no, he's on hard, so it'll be longer. Moki's keeping with them very nicely though, he's waiting for his DRS.
Oh, bit of contact there, and that was Larkin and Salau having a bit of contact, as there goes the Mercedes of Rob through, and now it's a straight line test down towards turn number 1, and let's see who's got the bit between their teeth. Rob, is he going to think about a move up the inside? Down on the inside he goes, late braking. Is he going to get the job done? A little bit of contact on the outside, but gets it through there on the exit, and slots back in then in a position. It didn't quite work that time around. Up front, I will say McCoy is starting to close up a little bit. Axelock seems to be losing pace here on those medium compound tyres. You would have thought right now he'd be attacking, as Salau battling with Rob now. So from trying to pass one car, Rob's now lost another, and down into 9th position.
That was very respectful racing through that turn 1 though. Someone could have easily gone a bit deep, a bit wide, but they left each other room, so it's fair game that. Salou just sat back, waited. He punched his ERS coming out with the first corner, second corner I suppose. Just waited for that moment.
Everyone just holding the line right now. Like I said, these races, they do sometimes become the DRS trend, but of course in realistic performance it might be a little bit different, of course, because everyone will have, of course, like I say, different performance. The yellow flag still flying, so that's still being a little buggy. I don't think we can get rid of that, so it will stay with us for the time being. McCoy hunting down towards turn number 1, but still not quite you can do right yet. Has to just sit back for the time being, but I tell you what here is the two Saubers, yeah.
They're really close.
Kimley ahead, so I think was there a potential little switch there because on different strategies. But I will say, look at Reese.
They were fighting the whole way. They locked up going into the first one. I think Kinney locked up, got around the left-hand side, and they dragged it all the way through turn 2.
Lawrence and Madge trying to battle down there into Lesmo 1, but like I was about to say, Axellock there, he's really kind of holding the field up a little bit here, isn't he? Because look behind, we've got McCoy, Cragg, Kinley, Callum, Larkin. We've pretty much got the entire field now, pretty much all in a pretty straight line here. And the leader now 4.2 seconds, so is he trying to back the field up ever so slightly? Let's find out. Well, I got a feeling he's saving all of his ERS, but is Axellock going to be under pressure here from McCoy? Different amounts of ERS, and I think this might be too late. Up the inside goes McCoy, and gets the job done then in the Haas, so he's now released. And can he now try and battle on and push ahead to try and get to the cars ahead? Well, the car ahead, so I say.
He is looking for it. I thought he was trying to stay in the DRS mode.
We got trouble. And what's happened down here? Bonnie off at turn number 1. And it looks like potentially there's been something going on here with Lawrence. Maybe Rich as well, because those three were very stationary down in towards turn number 1 a few moments ago. So some shenanigans have gone on down there, especially for Bonnie, because like I said, he was pointing 90 degrees perpendicular off in the runoff areas. So we shall find out later on.
They've had a coming together.
Yes.
There's a warning for Bonnie with Lawrence.
Okay, so
I didn't see exactly what happened, but the game noted it.
The game's noted it, so there has been an incident. Like I said, though, we've now got McCoy, who's, like I say, he's not pulling away either, so either Reese has just got the bit between his teeth and is pushing on very hard here, or just these guys are all kind of stuck in a DRS train and can't do anything. But here comes Axellock, will easily now presumably take second position. Up the inside he goes, down on the inside, late braking, gets the job done straight away. So Madge battling down there, I think losing a position to Morgan. And I believe has, dropped that down already.
While we've been talking about this, I've just noticed that Craggy is right on the back of this battle now. He's looking at an overtake.
Yeah, he's really having a look at the overtake, almost running into the rear left lane of the car of McCoy. Just saving those tyres, of course, on the mediums versus the hards. So these mediums will have a little bit better grip still for the time being. But for how much longer, that's always a difficult question to ask. I think, we're expecting a pit in around about 2 to 3 laps, potentially?
Yeah, I think 2 to 3 for the... It could go either way, medium or hard at this point. I think either would make it. Mediums will wear a lot towards the end. The hard would easily make that distance.
Yeah, so, I say all these medium drivers probably will start peeling off in the pit lane, like I said, in the next couple of laps. But I will say right now, the leader, he doesn't need to worry about anything. Well, here comes Axellock then, just to prove the point. I mean, setting the peel off in a few moments. So hard compound tyres straight to the end of this race. In as well has come Callum, and he's going to go for the medium compounds to go the same length. So he thinks he can get to the end, or is he going to see a set of hards? Another set of hards then, so saved an extra set. And he comes and will rejoin, I think, 13th, 14th. We got, of course, like I said, Axellock, who also just pitted. So all three of them on the hard compound tyres. Meanwhile,
his tyres
up the inside, and there's Rob up the inside of Larkin, gets the job done. Yep, nice and smooth, nice and gentle there. And Larkin, of course, a real ace and pretty much a legend of One Hub. I've seen him many, many times. And safety car has been deployed, and we've got a car off the road, and it's Lawrence. And the safety car back out. The front wing is gone. And boy, that is going to absolutely ruin Axelot's race. It will definitely hurt Callum and Maggior, because everyone here will dive into the pit lane and get a free stop. And I don't think these guys, he might get 1 or 2, but I don't think they're going to get... They'll definitely lose places here.
They will. Anyone on the mediums now, I think, is a winner because they can put the hards on till the end. These hard runners, making a set of mediums last that long, it's going to be really difficult towards the end.
I think they're going to go on another set of hards. I think quite a lot of them have 2 sets of hards here.
Oh, do you think they've gone harder? I thought they would have gone balanced.
So we've got hards for the first, second, third, fourth. I think Rob Larkin on the mediums. But where is Axelot and Callum going to come out? They're going to come out right down here. And how many places are they going to gain? Up to 6th. Oh, be careful. Oh, it's contact. Axelot, contact there. And who was that contact with? It was Larkin down into towards turn number 1. So, racing up the pit lane down towards the safety car line. And there's been a little bit of a coming together there. So problems there. But Axelot has got up to 6th. Callum Lowe down in 9th.
Callum's the big loser there. Axelot, I think he was trying to drag the pit lane line. And he just got ahead of Larkin coming through it. And I think there was a bit of confusion about who belonged where. And that's why they had to come together.
Possibly, yes.
Callum's
but
got a lot of work to do though after that. He's the biggest loser in that pit stop.
Now, if he's got to do it, he's going to have to come straight through the field. So unless something happens to your race leader of race, he's pretty much got a guaranteed money in the bag to win this race potentially. But like I said, there's still, what, 10 laps to go. Safety car will be in at the end of next lap, I do believe. Maybe one more extra off the list. But all eyes caught now are going to be on the likes of Rob Larkin. And so now they're on the medium compound tyres. And safety car's not going to come in until, well, lap 19 or 20. So it's going to be curious, isn't it?
It is. Looking at it, Rich and Morgan stopped again. Morgan's put a fresh set of hards on. Rich has put on 4-lap old mediums. Did he pit during the safety car? Was that just before it?
Just before it, I think, or just around it. So, 4-lap old mediums, they'll easily get to the end of this race. Let's say we've got 8 laps to go, so should be relatively easy. But it's going to be up front. Like I said, Reese, who is really doing quite well so far this season. He is, let's have a little look at the standings. He's actually in 7th in the standings. Won the first race, DNF in the last 2. Axelot, of course, one race win, of course, last time out. And of course, did not race in the first 2 events. So we've got a real gaggle of cars here. Like I said, we've got Callum, of course, on 37 points. So we've got Kimby and McCoy, 2nd and 3rd, 35. Then, like I said, we've got that gap. Larkin, Salau, Jonas, and Reese, 24, 24, 20, and 20. Axelot as well on 20. Rich on 18. And then, of course, it starts to spread out a little bit from there. But this season could go either way here. McCoy, like I said, he's got a good chance of taking a comfortable lead in the championship today. If things go well, safety car is in this lap. So it's Reese again. We'll probably do the exact same thing he did last time. Around about midway through the last corner. We'll bolt it right about now. He's going to wait a little bit longer then, so he's going to play a different strategy. Now he's going to go then and get the cars underway just on the exit. So he's got a good start there and has already put himself a 5, 6, 10th lead. But here comes Cragg down towards turn number 1 and not a lot quite so pulling up the inside there as he will get down towards turn number 1. Three abreast in the background. Big lock up there from the Sauber. As everyone going to get themselves through turn number 1 correctly this time around? I believe, yes, they do. What about down into towards the Della Roggia, of course, another corner which can catch people out. Mercedes there pulling out to the outside, but thinks better of it. Down they come into the second chicane, and all line astern apart from the Aston Martin there, battling away with Callum, and that was Morgan trying to have a move, couldn't quite do it there.
I thought he had him for a second, but he's such an experienced driver. He knows what's going to happen there. He knows exactly where to defend. And there's just so much talent in this grid. It's hard to catch someone sleeping. They know exactly where to put the car, where to attack, where to use the battery. So this is going to be an all-out battle till the end now, I think. I don't think this is going to spread too much.
Yeah, certainly is. For here is Roblo, and he wants to really get a move on very quickly here. If he's got pace in that Mercedes, which it should do, of course, it is a quicker car, to try and come through and overtake a few cars. Race fast lap of this race straight away, putting that gap out to 0.8 of a second. So he is pushing away as quick as he can. As we look down the straight, no one making moves quite so yet. So everything kind of remaining calm right now. And I will say these drivers have been well behaved today around Monza. Yeah, like I said, it's a track that can normally bring in incidents. As here comes Axelock and Rob. Rob up the inside into the Della Roggia. And does he get the car up the inside enough? No, but he will do the old switcheroo if he can, but can't. And will remain there in 6th. So this is going to be frustrating them for the Mercedes driver. He needs to come through if he wants any chance of getting up towards the top few positions.
He does. He's attacking so hard. He's trying to stay in that DRS for the main straight. As Bonnie gets a 3-second penalty for track limits.
That's a track limit violation for Bonnie. Axelock in 5th. Rob still behind in 6th. Has used a lot more of his ERS, of course, so he's going to have a lot less in the tank. Larkin as well, battling, as up the inside actually comes Salau. So through the last corner, Reese even pushing farther ahead. 120.2, he's got that gap up to 2.4 seconds. As we got a potential down towards turn number 1 of Crag. Nope, doesn't quite do it yet, but here comes Rob. Finally up the inside of the Racing Bulls. Gets the job done in towards turn number 1. And it's a big gaggle of cars, and Callum there is in trouble, and he's just not finding any place, as I think that was Morgan having a bit of contact there, again trying to get through. Couldn't quite do it, ended up getting squeezed in a bit of contact, as they all remain straight. And the Aston Martin now down into 11th position. What a topsy-turvy race here so far. But like I said, you've got to hand it credit for the race leader, who is absolutely been dominating this race.
He is. He's just on a Sunday drive on his own. He's been amazing. He's not put a foot wrong all race. And if he keeps this up, this should be an easy win for him.
Yes.
Smoke is dropping back and everyone else is just fighting behind him. So
like
it's to lose.
Like I said, 1 race win for Reese so far this season, followed by 2 DNFs. So like I said, he might be doing well, but he has got a hit ratio of 1 to 3. So let's see if he can make it 2 out of 4 in terms of this one. Like I said, 2nd and 3rd still together. No one making a move down there, as Axelock back ahead of Rob. And this is really just proving to be a difficult afternoon for that Mercedes. He just cannot get past the Racing Bulls, who is driving brilliantly with all the experience that Axelock's got. Look at the ERS usage. 70%, 20%, 27, Larkin 21. I thought the yellow flags popped up for a second, but that's just the glitch. 4 and a bit laps to go here in Monza. And you got to wonder.
He speaks to Axelock's experience. Yeah. I saw his ERS that last one when he got overtaken, and I was questioning it at first, thinking why is he not defending? But he's that expert. He was waiting for the next lap. He knows he could just come back again and again. I think he's preparing for the final lap. He's playing chess a little bit, just getting ready to defend that one last time.
Well, what he's also doing, and this is quite crucial, is remember Rob and the other, well, 4 cars behind all those mediums, those tyres are going to start be going off soon, so they're not going to be at their best. So Axellock has got a good opportunity here as McCoy finally battling with Craig. As Craig's up into second, he's got the job done. These guys will stay the same down towards turn number 1. And Callum now down into 11th, so it's gone from what was a comfortable P3 at one point to outside the top 10 and really not having an afternoon he wanted. And remember, of course, last week finished P10. This week looks like he will be around the same positions, of course. Counting anyone with time penalties might jump up 1 or 2 places, but the championship leader, it isn't going to be the most comfortable afternoon for him. And like I said, Kimley and McCoy in 3rd and 4th, both on the same amount of points right now. Those two will jump up to 1st and 2nd after this race, of course, unless anything happens.
Yeah, Kinney looks like
he's
got a bit between his teeth now. Oh no, Axellock.
And Lawrence there.
Lawrence. That Ascari's taking some prisoners today.
Oh, we got a car off, and it's the Aston Martin. It is the Aston Martin who's gone off into the gravel. Any damage on that car? I don't think so. So Aston Martin, he was doing well. He was running in the top 10. Has made a small but critical mistake, and that's put him. And this is what we were talking about: how close this field it can be, because that one small mistake dropped him 10 positions as Larkin has been overtaken by Rich. Or is he going to try back around the outside? Nope, can't quite do it there. Lawrence battling away with Bonnie, and contact on the exit, but gets away as the 2nd and 3rd of McCoy and Cragg are battling away. And this is quite crucial here for these guys, because if McCoy can hold this position and have that car behind, he will have a bit more of a comfortable gap up front.
He will. They're just letting him get away now, I think. But they need to battle for the points. They can't just let each other pass in the hope of catching Reese. He's controlled this race start to finish, and I'm not sure, quick look, if he's got any.
Oh, sorry.
penalties.
Rob trying to go around the outside into Ascari. That's not going to work. They're so close to touching, and somehow they have got it to work. But now look at Salau, who's going to get 1. He's going to get 2. Straight through he goes up into 5th, and that was quite smart play there. And here is almost looking up the inside the Mercedes. Thought about coming straight back through as they all slide their way through the last corner. 1, 2, 3 cars then down towards turn number 1, and Axellock somehow still in this race and still ahead with the DRS. Rob's got the DRS on Salau, and Salau, who got the 1 position, is now lost it again. But what great tacticianous play from Axellock to know exactly that he could back off a little bit there, get the DRS straight back, and come straight through. Remember, this is why he saved so much of his ERS, and it's paid dividends straight away.
100%. He's preparing for that defence or attack every single lap. And now those mediums are going, I think Rob and Salau, they know they've got to get the job done, because they're running out of laps and grip, so it's now or never for those two.
Yeah, remember, all 3 of them with 3-second time penalties, so Rich, if he's anywhere near close enough, these guys might jump up 1, 2, 3 positions, and these guys have still got to negotiate 1 more lap. But like I said, Axellock, he knows what he's doing. He's experienced, and he has got a huge amount of ERS, 92%. So he's been running on none ever so slightly there, just saving it. And I've got a feeling here, what's about to happen, hot lap mode, and he's just going to dump it all right now out of the last corner. And let's see, can Rob do anything? He's trying to dump his ERS as well, but he hasn't got any to battle with. And here we go, defending right, left, and I don't think Axellock, you need to worry, because he's not close enough. That's worked brilliantly then for the Racing Bulls, who's timed that to perfection. He's done the strategy, is battling there. Canard up into 8th position. So he's got the position there, and is he just? Yes, he is. If he remains like this, within the gap to get Salau for 7th, which is critical for his championship hunt, that he can get 1, maybe 2 of these guys. But it's a tall order, and I just don't know if he's going to be able to get 2, but it's going to be close.
I think he can do it. It's very tight, it's just changing, but definitely going to get Salau.
Well,
he does get both of them. Right now he gets both of them, I think.
Here we go, through the last corner, and Reese. Domination here in Italy. And they always say the Italians do well, but it's a sister Italian team of Racing Bulls that takes the victory. Then here in the Italian Grand Prix, the Aston Martin across the line in 2nd. Absolutely over the moon there. McCloy in 3rd to take the championship lead. Kinley in 4th. But where is Callum going to finish? He does get 1 position. So 7 for him. 8 for Salau. Rich in 9th. Madge in 10th. And a hectic race to bring, and my voice is already a little bit gone, but it's been gone all day. What a hectic little race.
Amazing race. Very clean driving for the most part. I can't complain. That was brilliant to watch. I hope everyone else enjoyed that.
So there we go. The Racing Bulls, the top step of the podium. We've got Jarlo Opmir in 2nd. I believe that's his game face, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, we shall hopefully, if the game lets us, get the nice little scene of we can see who is doing what, of course, on the grid, so Cam doesn't murder me later on for not being able to show him where people finished. Well, that depends if the game's nice to me, which, knowing the game, it won't be, and it will be... it's working today, so there we go. Reese wins this race from Craig in 2nd. McCoy, Kinley, Axelock, Rob, Callum, Salau, Rich, Madge, Larkin, Bonnie, Morgan in 13th, Lawrence 14th, and Jonas down the back, because with that mistake earlier on in the race. And just a little quick seeing of who did what in this race. And like I said, there's a bit of there's a lot of things, a lot of incidents down here. As we just quickly go through this, and like I said, you can just kind of see how many a little bit of contact, and we don't notice it half the time, but how much of these warnings for track limits and stuff we do get. There we are. What is a very warm day, I will say, in the UK. I wouldn't say it's warm, but it's become very humid all of a sudden, so not helping the heat. But like I said, that has been the Italian Grand Prix, and I'll put you on the spot, Mike, to do the sponsors to round off the stream.
I will happily do that. So our sponsors, just one last time, Next Level Racing. They do sim rig gear, seats, pedals. Delta.app, our title sponsor for this league. All your investments in one app. Smart decisions like the world's top investors, and track your journey to success with Delta. Gotta say again, that is for only 18s and above. Sim racing setups, they provide you with all your sim racing F1 sim setups. Drive where we've got a sim discount for that. It's called One Hub Racing for 5% off their setups. Pure Sim Gear, they sponsor the league by providing sim racing socks, gloves to the driver, the fastest laps and poles over the course of the season. Discount code for them is OHR10P to get 10% off their sim racing socks and gloves. Vespertine, we're partnered with them. They provide us with our official apparel, so that's again socks, gloves, hats, t-shirts, and last but not least, SimGrid. Without SimGrid, we would just be a Google spreadsheet and a lot of headaches. So thank you very much to all of our sponsors for helping us do what we do, and I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. Thank you very much for watching.
Yes,
You got any last comments,
indeed.
Evil?
Well, I will say it's been a great race throughout the field, and it is always fun to see who is going to come out top, of course. Don't forget to join, well, me on Sunday at 3 p.m. to begin, of course, the P4 tier as we move on to the next couple of rounds as well, of course, with Papa Squant. Remember, of course, though, the championship leader for P4 no longer there. So it's all going to be a straight battle to see who can take the top spot now from onwards. But of course, don't forget to join us all on Sunday from 3 p.m. all the way up to, I think, 8 or 9 p.m. But until next time, I have been Evil, Mike has been Mike, and we'll see you next time. From us here at Monza, ta-ra.
See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.